All right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Shalom, shalom, Sister Deborah, prophetess in the wilderness. And you know what? That's all right with me. Coming again on this Devil platform with a short message. And I will say this is a lovely, still yet evening in which the Most High Yah has made. And I, Sister Deborah, shall and I will rest therein. I want to say to you all that I can see the narrow gate as clear as I can see myself here on the earth. I can see the narrow gate and why it's so narrow and why it is the way that leads to life. As I sit back and I watch the lawlessness and the midnight hour, meaning the wickedness that's upon the earth, and how the principality in high places has been brought to the earth, and how wickedness and evil is at its highest because it was created for a time as this. I can see that. And in the process of seeing it, I can see that trillion. And I'm just a little bit exaggerating about the number of trillion, but that just says to me how many people that cannot see. It's nothing we can do that can change the will of the Father nor his way. It's nothing that's going on right here today that we could even feel or think or try to change. Because to me, as I said it longer than a year, probably almost 2 years, it's finished. It's over. And the more and more I hear from the Father, it's over can be. And I see why the gift of endurance is needed. I see why one must be branded with righteous. Why must be one branded with belief? Why is it that one must be branded with faith? Why is it that one must be branded with fear? These are brands of the Spirit of the Most High Yah. And it helps us along the journey. And that endurance spirit, let me tell you something. That is some kind of spirit. Because it helps you. It really helps you to endure the things that you cannot change. You can see things for what it is, what it appeared to be, what it is in the spirit realm. And you can see it in the darkness. You can see it in the light, because the Father wants you to be able to have the strength to endure it with all the strength that he has placed in you. Nothing is greater than he that is in you. And I want to say to you again, that do not let people on the outside of you tell you or teach you that the greatest on the outside. The greatest one rests on the inside. You know, I read it when I read Psalms 18. And then I read a couple of other chapters of Psalms, and I realized that I like the idea of the aliens. I like the idea of the spaceships, because as you read in the instructions and direction book, which is the King James book, you see also where it speaks of a wheel in the middle of a wheel. I know that that's something that can be likened to a spaceship. So what I'm saying to you all, a lot of people said he's going to take us up out of here in a ship, or in a ship, in a boat, not so much in a boat, but in a ship. But if you go back and read and understand, a spaceship still holds the word of a ship. You see, it also holds a wheel in the center of a wheel. So I want you to understand that we cannot actually say to anyone how he's going to collect his remnant, but we must embrace the fact that he has a power in his right hand. And whatever that power do, we need to embrace it now and look forward to it doing what it does. We that are called to be his servants, those that are born of the Spirit, those that are the seed of the woman, those that are the children of the Most High, those that are the church, those that are the saints, those that are the righteous one, we are all one in all of those titles. We just don't know that because we have heard the tradition of man for so long, thousands and thousands of years, even to today. 99.9, you hear the traditions of man's teaching and man's way of seeing this thing, and they don't even have what you have in you, which is the Ruach HaKodesh. Believe in the Ruach HaKodesh that lives in you, that can teach you all things. And this is where the problem is at, because we turn away from the greater one that's in us to turn to the world that's on the outside of us, that's deceiving the mass. So I, Sister Deborah, say unto you, don't be so caught up in how he's going to do it. Just trust that power that is greater in you than anything that's in the world. He has a power that's going to bring his small remnant out. And whichever way he chooses, let it be his. So I might come back today and try to get some word out of the book, the instructions and direction that might lead me to understand the will that's in the center of the wheel. Okay? And you've seen throughout life spaceships. There's a wheel in the center of a spaceship. And then some people say, when he said that this one said a ship. Notice space, ship. It still carried the word ship. So you see how our thoughts are not his thoughts. Our ways are not his ways. But those that believe and trust in his thoughts and his ways, he will show you the way. So I, Sister Deborah, say unto you, there's something greater in you than he that's in the world. Trust in he that's greater in you than he that's on the outside of you. That means don't trust Sister Deborah, don't trust man, don't trust woman, don't trust the ways of the government, the system, and the world. Trust in he that is greater in thee, because he's the one going to bring you through. He's going to speak to you from that end. He's going to teach you from that end. He's going to show you things to come, prophesying to you, teaching you to see what was, what is, what shall be. He's going to comfort you from the inside. So why are you trusting on the things that's on the outside over he that said, I come to abide in you? So that's something that's truly food for your spirit, to let you know the outside is not greater than the inside. So trust that which speak to you from the inner man than he that speaks to you from the outer man. Okay, so that's food for the spirit, along with some light to help you see in the midnight hour, in the darkness, because this is the day we are in. And we need to trust in he that created all things, he that is worthy for the praise out of our mouth, out of our hearts, and out of our minds. He is worthy to receive the praise of our hands and the glory and the honor. He is the one that overrides YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Patriot, Rumble, all of it. Why is everybody on these platforms getting the praise? Because they are of the devil. They are Satan's seeds. And they're winning all the praise. And we that have carried the Ruach HaKodesh are refusing to give him the glory. To give him, the Father most high, higher, the glory and the praise and the honor. I don't listen to people who tells me what his name is, because I think that what they don't understand he that is greater in us than he that is in the world. They don't understand that, y'all. And they're not going to understand it, because he said they don't understand you because they don't understand me. They don't see you because they don't see me. They don't hear you because they don't hear me. That letting you know the people who don't grip who you are in Yah is because they're not in Yah. They're not created to understand. I can stand as a prophetess, can stand on the highest mountain and proclaim to people, like I said, probably almost 2.5 years ago, when I speak in the unknown tongue to the spirit of the Most High Yah, that's what I call the private closet. When I'm speaking to the Most High in the closet, that is a tongue I know not of. I can't interpret that tongue, even though I have been given the gift to interpret the tongues that's in the church. That means in this body of Hamashiach, I've been given the gift to interpret the tongues within this body. But I cannot interpret the tongues from this body to this head. Do you get what I'm saying? I can interpret the tongues that's in the body, but I can't interpret the tongues that's in the head. I can interpret the tongues that's in the body, but I can't interpret the tongues that's in the head. The head is over the body. So when the body begins to speak to the head, that's between those that's in the body and the head. But if the body speaks in an unknown tongue, then I can interpret it one to another. Okay? Or as it speaks. But when you in your closet, that's between you and the head. You're speaking to you in the head. So when you speaking to you in the head, you don't even know what is being said. That's how intimate that tongue speaking. Learn to speak in spirit to the Most High Yah, that's the head. Learn. And you'll see that while you speaking to him, you can't even understand what you're saying. Because it's an intimate thing between the Father and your spirit that's in you. It's not supposed to let the flesh step in. See, the flesh has to step out when it's time for your spirit to commune with the Father. And that time, Sister Deborah can't interpret. So while I'm in the closet speaking in the spirit to the Most High Ahaya, I noticed all my life I was able to do that, to talk to him in an unknown language, which I knew not. Even though I knew I had the gift to interpret tongues, I couldn't interpret that tongue to the Father. It's not the will of the Father too. But I couldn't understand why is it that it's one thing I could understand why me and him is communing. Is I found myself over and over saying Ahaya, 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 Ahaya in this unknown tongue. So that's the only thing that I could take out of the message that was relayed in the spirit of my spirit to the spirit of Yah was Ahaya, Ahaya. And it was 2 years ago, almost 2 months, probably a little over, that he says you can now use Ahaya to address me. Because that's the only name that I could take in the spirit realm. So I'm not created to allow the flesh of a woman that says that they are a prophetess, or the flesh of a man that said that they are a prophetess, to break down what I can say and what I cannot. When the Ruach HaKodesh, which is the Holy Spirit, between him and I, have he spoken unto me. I didn't get this name from this person, this person, this person, this person. But now I realize people who know Ahaya have spoken unto him one-on-one. You see, I know that they have spoken with him one-on-one. So people on the outside who said that's not his name and you can't call, sit your tails down somewhere. Because when it all said and done, you can manipulate, you can teach people, you can quote scriptures, you can quote Torah, you can quote Greek, you can quote Hebrew, you can quote whatever you want. But you all far out in the ocean somewhere. Yes, are you deceiving? Yes, the multitude is deceived. All those that go bow down, the millions that bow down to the Pope, they're deceived. So surely you're going to have some that you can deceive. But the truth of the matter, people need to stay out of the spiritual realm if they know not the spirit. See, people think the only realm you are to know is the flesh realm. That's why they can beat you with these books. Because that's the flesh realm. That is the serpent of the seed of the serpent. He comes to beat you with a book that even the Roman Catholic has smeared. He come to beat you with other books that Roman Catholic have taken away and smeared and handed right back to you. And you think you got something from heaven. And not even knowing the way they smeared this one, they smeared that one. None of those books can redeem you. None of those books give you the word to turn your face to the face of Yah. They give you their lifestyle. They give you their testimonies of their life. They don't give you the testimony of the life of the Most High Yah, nor the light of Christ. They don't tell you the power rests in the right hand of the Father. That is his only begotten, his right hand. And the Catholics never knew that. So when they printed this, that's why they printed it as trying to trap Yeshua with Hamashiach, to confuse you that they knew what they were doing when they were switching it all the time. But when the Ruach HaKodesh pulled up, all things that crooked get straight by the Spirit of the Most High Yah. So Sister Deborah comes and she's allowed by the Spirit of the Most High Yah to use Ahia to address him. Yes, can I use Yah? Can I use Yahuwah? Yes, but I use what is greater in me that has suffered me to touch base with him based on the name that rests within me. And whatever I say, it's not so much as you taking my voices and my words and measure who greater in me. See how that's how stupid people are. They measure people's words. They want to video somebody's words and what they saying and how they saying it. And what they doing is they trapping the outer man to make you think they know something by trapping people's words and bringing it before you exactly the way they say it. And they don't even understand the greater is in us. It's not what's on the outside. You see? So you can't take words that Sister Deborah say and try to bring it to the core and try to prove that Sister Deborah is wrong, because the greater is he that's in me than he that's in the world. That means he's greater than you, who's trying to trap their audience to believe they know more than somebody else based on what they can read, what they were taught when they were young, who taught them. Because the same one that taught them right here today, they see them totally different. Well, what happened? Where is the Ruach? That's the true teacher. None of them can say that. I think I am the only one that's on this devil platform that have let you all know that the Ruach been teaching me since I was 4 years old. You got very few that could say that, because the flesh of other men and women taught them, and they go and steal by the stank of those who brought them up and taught them. But Sister Deborah always referred to you what? The Ruach HaKodesh. That's how long he's been with me. I even experienced some of the things that Job had experienced. Oh, yes. I experienced those things, and I kept crying out to the Spirit of Yah. How long would he allow him to have his way? And I'm a living prophet, not a dead one. So those that are out there claiming to be some, you stay in your lane, because my lane was created by the Most High Yah. And the lane in which he created is not a lane that you can run in, nor can you match. So stay in your lane. Okay? So I say unto you that keep feeding yourself spirit and truth. Sit your tails down. Sit your butts down. Sit your tails down and read and ask the Holy Spirit before you start reading. Teach me what I need to know in this midnight hour. Father, Yah, teach me what I need to know in this midnight hour. And whatever he teach you, you hold firm to it. You don't check with Sister Deborah. You don't check with the church, the pastor, the bishop, the prophets, the prophetess. You stay firm with the one that's going to teach you from the inside out, because he's really the true greatest. It's not all these people who out here thinking they can teach you the Torah, think they can teach you out of these other books. You're lost if you get caught up in the books, y'all. Solomon told you. What did Solomon tell y'all about books? Much studying. What did Solomon tell you? Even to know is great sorrow. To know spirit and truth is great sorrow, because you're right here and you know spirit and truth, and everybody else teaching wicked and evil, and you standing here alone while everybody continue to teach wicked and evil, and they think they got it going on because they basing their understanding, or I got likes, I got striver, and people are paying me a fortune. And that's how they look at it. And they are right. But they're not right in being right. They are right as a seed of Satan. And that's why they hold firm to making sure that they don't teach spirit and truth, nor will they teach the light. That's the reason why they won't teach y'all the light. That's the reason why They won't teach you spirit and truth because they really the seed of the serpent who refusing to give you spirit and truth and show you the light. They got to show you the dark end. That's why they so in tune with everything that's happening in the world as it's a shock and can't go to Revelation and let Revelation break that thing down to you in your spirit. They won't go into Revelation and say, Revelation said this. Next day, Revelation says this. Revelation said this. You know why? Because they're afraid. They stay away from spirit and truth. That's why they ride you into all the issues of the world. But if you see the issues of the world and then you run into Revelation, it matches it. But see, Revelation is a threat to them. That's why they rather give you the stories in the world than to run you straight to Revelation and let Revelation give you the world and what's going on. They don't want to do that because that's also the division that he put between the woman seed and the serpent seed. The serpent seed gonna always teach you the things of the world, and sometimes it'll try to straddle the fence over on the seed of the woman, trying to imitate that they know something over in the other side, but really they don't. That's why they stay away from it. They see that you give them more likes, you give them more praises, you give them more glory, you glorify them, you thanking them, you can't wait till they get on in the seed of the serpent. Okay? They will not cross that boundary because y'all put a division between it. Same thing about family. When y'all said that he come to bring the sword between, don't play with my Father in heaven. Don't play with the Creator. When he said he come to bring that, he ain't coming to give you your way. He ain't coming to make it your way. He ain't coming to clean what he done said up for you. He said, I come to bring it. I have brought it, Deborah, and they still deny the presence. And that's why they live through so much turmoil, so much trouble. It's because they still have not seen the sword that was the intimacy between her seed and serpent seed. They don't see it. They just see it in the flesh. My family, my loved one, my wife, my children, my this. No, that's why they can't train up their children in the way that they should go. They don't understand the way is not your flesh way. The way is of righteousness. They training their children up in a way that says, see how we live? This is the right way. They live in the wrong way. We got this, we got this, we got this. We doing this, we doing this. And everybody on that side is doing the wrong way. That's not training up your children in the way that they should go. He's speaking of righteousness. And then when they get out and have to run for their lives, they ain't gonna know what direction to go in because you're training them up in the way of your mindset. You're training them up in a way that pleases you and yours because you want them to see that you are so much better than those that's over here. And you don't even understand those that's over here. It's guess where they at. They where y'all want them to be. Because when he collect them, he ain't coming to your house. You got yours so in order. You got yours so right. You got yours set up like they got everything. They so together. They this and that. And you never trained them up in the way which is righteous. You train them up in a tradition. You train them up to think that they are so different and they so better and they so right in the ways of life on the earth. But Yah is saying, train them up in the way of righteousness. And if you ever learn what righteousness is, it's not the way you plan life. It's the way Yah has planned life. 99.1 trillion children that's trained up in households like this don't even know who Christ is. They don't even know who the power is. They don't even know who the Father is. All they know is what their parents have taught them. And guess what? That too is 100% a lie. Isn't that sad? Isn't that sad? Parents are teaching that they have taught their children 20, 30, 15, 10 years a lie. And their lie is to train their children up in their perception of who Yah is and what life is about. No, that's not what he asked you to train them up. He said, train them up in the way they should go. Who knows the way outside of the Ruach HaKodesh? And that is the way of righteousness. They have to be able to be trained to know the difference between righteousness and unrighteous. Not how to prepare their way to be the right way. No, that's not the training up. The training up is to recognize my Father as the righteous in his ways. Understanding Yeshua HaMashiach, teaching of the righteous. You see? And what is righteous? Righteous is a form of give and gave. Righteous is not a form of me, mine's. We separate. We over here. That's the biggest error that ever hit the face of the earth. Because righteous don't have the mind of the flesh. Righteous don't have the will of the flesh. Righteous don't have the insight of the flesh. Righteous is not the seed of the flesh. Righteous is not the seed of the flesh or the spirit of the flesh. It is that which is righteous in the bosom of the Father. And that's my main thing. I speak to my children righteous. If they receive it not, that's on them. I'm not going to give them the form of righteous that pleases me and them. I won't give it to them. I don't have it to give to them. I only have train them up in the way that they should go. And that is that which fall under righteous. All this other crap that people are teaching their kids, making their kids think we out in the woods and we living righteous, everybody else is unrighteous. That's a mindset, baby. That's a mindset, a horrible mindset. Because what the parents don't understand, even though you're separating you and yours and your family into one area, that's where the heavy lawlessness and wickedness rest therein, and you don't even know it's there. Because you so busy thinking mine's on this end is righteous. That's why when Yeshua, let me go there. Let me see if I can find it before my time it goes off, because I'm uploading one on Facebook. I want to show you exactly what I'm talking about. Let me see if I can find it. I hope I can. Okay. Okay, here it is. What verse it says? 25, Matthew's chapter 25. This is an example. In Matthew's chapter 25, and we're going to go to verse, we're going to start from verse 34. Let's start from verse 34. Matthew's 25 and verse 34. Then shall the king say unto them that's on the right hand. We're talking about Yeshua is saying to those that's on the right hand, come ye blessed of the Father. See, he's telling them they are blessed of the Father. Inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. And you have to know that before the foundation of the world, it was already prepared for you. So your mother and father cannot prepare a thing for you. See, this is what people don't understand. And that's what the parents don't understand. And that's what the preachers and the pastors starting these little cults and all of this. They don't understand. You are not representing the Most High Yah. You're representing your flesh. And you teaching people traditions of the flesh. They have no traditions of the Ruach HaKodesh. Because if they did, the number one is righteousness. That's the true tradition. Okay, of the Father. Now listen to how he says this. Listen to how Yeshua said this. This is Matthew chapter 25, verse 34. Then shall the king say unto them on the right hand, come ye, blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. See, it was already prepared. So while y'all running around here thinking y'all gonna prepare the way for your children, for your wife, for your husbands, for your wives, and for your group, your ace in your group, you can't prepare the kingdom for them. It has already been prepared. You're just making what you would call a fool of yourself. Okay? You're just showing you are the seed of Satan because you didn't lead these spirits to the bosom of the Father so that he can separate them from the world. You separated them, and you separated them to your bosom, to your will, to your way. Now watch this here. Verse 35. For I was hungry and ye gave. You see that word gave? Me meat. You gave something. Watch this here. I was thirsty and you what? Gave me a drink. You gave something. I was a stranger and you took me in. 99 trillion, when they perform their own cult, their own group, their own academy, their own plan to have separate people separate to them, their own family separate to them. These are people who trying to root in the minds of their children, their wives, their husbands, their camp, men, especially men. They trying to root in them to have a mindset that we're the righteous. We're the one. Y'all ain't called you to do that. Because the righteous ones are those that Yah has called. And Yah has to be in them to show them the righteous way. But what happens is those that under them and control over them, they're teaching them their way to be the righteous. You can't teach nobody to be that way. You can lead them to the Father who is righteous and let them foot for that. But what they doing is they training up the mindsets of their children, their families, their camp, their group, their church, their academies to believe that they are the one that is righteous, and I got to train you up my way of seeing righteous. That is not righteous. This is righteous. The one that gave. Okay? I was a stranger and you took me in. What did you do? You give me a place to stay. They're going to give again. Okay? Verse 39. Naked and thou clothed me. What did you do? You give clothing. I was sick and ye visit me. What did you do there? You gave your time. I was in prison and you came to visit me. You visit someone in prison. They can be prison in their minds. They can be prison in their hearts. Or they can be a prisoner behind the bars, but you took out your time and you gave it unto them. These people on these devil platforms are giving you their words of the world and trying to let you think that that's righteous. They're not giving anything that Yeshua is showing us an example of how heaven really is and how it's really going to orchestrate everything and line everything up. They bypass this because they are training their children. They're training their members of their church, their academy, everybody to look at me. I'm the righteous one of the Most High Yah, and I train you my way and tell you it is the righteous way. And what happened? They forgot. The mystery in the power of being the righteous is what one has gave and give. Why? Because people never knew the love in which the world called love and has smeared it as Yah's love. It is based around give and gave. And guess what I found out? The hardest thing for one to do is to give and give. That's why he said where your heart is that's really who you are. Because he knew that to give and give will separate the wheat from the tare. He knew that to give and give would show you he that is born of the serpent and he that is born of the woman seed. See, people didn't know that even to today. Give and give is who Yah is, who Yah was. Why? Because in the beginning, in Genesis 1, all he did is what he gave. It never told you in Genesis it was love. It was give and gave. Genesis 1 and 2. Everything was give and gave. It was no love there when he created all things. So you see how people are training people in the church to give them and to give them based on what they giving them. They giving them the world and the people giving them the world as well. Why? Because they giving them worldly actions of their heart, the way they give. But here I like how Yeshua was telling those that was on the righteous side that it's all about giving. It's give and gave. See, a lot of people think they can identify Yah based on their fleshly desires. You can't. You can fool everybody. You can even fool Deborah. But you can't fool the Most High Yah.